Top 10 Best and Most Produced Tanks of World War II. 10. Tiger I. The Tiger I was a German heavy tank of World War II that began operational duty in 1942 in Africa and in the Soviet Union. Usually in independent heavy tank battalions, it was designed by Irwin Aiders and manufactured by Henschel and Son. The Tiger I had a combat weight of 57 tons and was powered by a Maybach HL-3 OP45 V1 petrol engine that could generate 700 PS, 690 horsepower, 515 kilowatts. It was armed with a 8.8 cm KWK-36L 56 gun that could fire 90 to AP and he rounds. The tank had a crew of 5 members: commander, gunner, loader, driver, and radio operator. Germany produced around 1,347 Tiger I tanks, which were heavily armored and had a powerful gun. 9. M26 Persing. The M26 Persing was a heavy tank, medium tank used by the United States Army during the last months of World War II, and extensively during the Korean War. It was named after General of the Army's John J. Pershing, who led the American Expeditionary Force in Europe in World War I. The tank was designed to replace the M4 Sherman, but only a small number saw combat in Europe due to a prolonged development period. The M26 Persing was armed with a 90mm gun M3 and had a crew of 5. The United States produced around 2,200 M26 Persing tanks, which were used in the later stages of the war. 8. KV1 Tank. The KV1 tank was a heavy tank used by the Soviet Union during World War II. It was named after Kliment Voroshilov, a Soviet defense commissar and politician. The KV1 was designed by Joseph Cotton and produced by Kirov Factory and CHTZ from 1939 to 1943. The Soviet Union produced around 5,219 KV1 tanks, which were heavily armored and difficult to destroy. 7. Panzer III. The Panzer III was a medium tank developed by Germany in the 1930s and was used extensively in World War II. It was designed to fight other armored fighting vehicles and serve alongside and support the similar Panzer IV, which was originally designed for infantry support. The Panzer III had a crew of 5, including a commander, gunner, loader, driver, and radio operator, bow machine gunner. The tank weighed 23.0 tons, 25.4 short tons, and had a length of 5.56 meters, 18 feet 3 in, width of 2.90 meters, 9 feet 6 in, and height of 2.5 meters, 8 feet 2 in. The tank's armor thickness varied from 15 millimeters all around for AUSFAC to 50 millimeters all around for OSFJ+. The Panzer III was equipped with a 3.7 centimeters KWK-36 gun for anti-tank work, but later models were given a 5 centimeters gun. Germany produced around 5,774 Panzer III tanks, which were used in the early years of the war. 6. M3 Lee Grant. The M3 Lee Grant was an American medium tank used during World War II. It was produced between August 1941 and December 1942, with a total of 6,258 units built. The tank was named after Confederate General Robert E. Lee and Union General Ulysses S. Grant, depending on the variant. The M3 Lee Grant was designed to be a stopgap solution until the arrival of the M4 Sherman tank. The M3 Lee Grant had a crew of 7 Lee or 6 Grant and weighed 30 short tons. It was armed with a 75 mm gun M2, M3 in the hull and a 37 mm gun M5, M6 in the turret. The tank had a maximum speed of 26 miles per hour on roads and 16 miles per hour off-road. The M3 Lee Grant was used in combat against the Japanese in Southeast Asia by the British until 1945. 5. M10 Wolverine. The M10 Wolverine was an American tank destroyer used during World War II. It was designed to counter German tanks and was produced from September 1942 to November 1943. The M10 was the most important U.S. tank destroyer of World War II. It was equipped with a 3-inch gun M7 76.2mm in mount M5 and had a crew of 5. The M10 was mounted on a modified M4 Sherman tank chassis and had a maximum speed of 25 to 30 miles per hour on road. The M10 was armed with a .50 caliber, 12.7mm Browning M2HB machine gun. The M10 tank destroyer was produced by Fisher Body Division of General Motors and Ford Motor Company. The United States produced around 6,700 M10 Wolverine tank, which were used to destroy enemy tanks. The cost of producing an M10 was $47,900 United States dollars, equivalent to $857.908 in 2024. 4. Panzer IV. The Panzer IV was a German medium tank developed in the late 1930s and used extensively during the Second World War. It was the most numerous German tank and the second most numerous German fully tracked armored fighting vehicle of the Second World War. 8,553 Panzer IVs of all versions were built during World War II. Its chassis was also used as the base for many other fighting vehicles, including the Sturmgeschütz for assault gun, the Jagdpanzer for self-propelled anti-tank gun, the Wirbelwind self-propelled anti-aircraft gun, and the Brummbär self-propelled gun. The Panzer IV saw service in all combat theaters involving Germany and was the only German tank to remain in continuous production throughout the war. 3. Sturmgeschütz III. The Sturmgeschütz III StuG III was an assault gun produced by Nazi Germany during World War II. It was built on a slightly modified Panzer III chassis, replacing the turret with an armored, fixed superstructure mounting a more powerful gun. It was initially intended as a mobile assault gun for direct fire support for infantry, but was continually modified and employed as a tank destroyer. The StuG III was the most produced fully tracked armored fighting vehicle and the second most produced German armored combat vehicle of any type after the SDKFZ 251 half-track. The StuG III AUSF-G, produced from 1942, had a length of 6.85 meters, width of 2.95 meters, and height of 2.16 meters. It was powered by a Maybach HL1 to OTR MV1 to gasoline engine, with a power output of 300 PS to 196 horsepower, 220 kilowatts, and had a maximum speed of 40 kilometers per hour, 25 miles per hour. The StuG III AUSF-G was armed with a 7.5 cm StuG 40L 48 main gun and a 7.92 mm MG34 or MG42 machine gun. The StuG III AUSF-G had a crew of 4 consisting of a driver, commander, gunner, and loader. Germany produced around 10,086 StuG III tank destroyers, which were used to support infantry operations. 2. M4 Sherman. The M4 Sherman was a medium tank used by the United States and Western Allies in World War II. It was named after the American Civil War. General William T. Sherman. It was reliable, relatively cheap to produce, and available in great numbers. The M4 Sherman had a crew of 5, including a commander, gunner, loader, driver, and assistant driver, bow gunner. The United States produced around 50,000 M4 Sherman tanks, which were used extensively in the European and Pacific theaters. 1. T-34. The T-34 was a medium tank used by the Soviet Union during World War II and beyond. It was introduced in 1940 and remained in service for several decades. The T-34 had a profound impact on tank design and was praised by multiple German generals when encountered during Operation Barbarossa. The tank's 76.2 mm 3-in gun was more powerful than its contemporaries, and its 60-degree sloped armor provided good protection against anti-tank weapons. The T-34 had an impressive balance of firepower, armor protection, and mobility. The tank was the mainstay of the Soviet Red Army armored forces throughout the war, and over 80,000 T-34s of all variants were produced. The T-34 is also a critical part of the mechanized divisions that form the backbone of the deep battle strategy. The Soviet Union produced around 84,000 T-34 tanks, making it the highest produced tank in World War II and second highest produced of all time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.